Our next RPG horror story comes from You Know Who 22. It's titled The DM Has Never Heard of Balance. They're literally stunned by the idea.
That's a
boy.
good DM.
Balance is tough in D&D now.
I still prefer to lean towards roleplay and keep combat lighter. I don't mind having a good fight, but as a DM, I prefer more roleplay. But as a player, I prefer combat. Some friends of mine said I should post this here. After reading for a while, this is not nearly as dramatic as others, and I don't wish the DM any ill will. He just wasn't very good at balancing, and it came across pretty poorly until I stormed out. So, backstory. My friend and I, who worked together at a burger joint in the middle of nowhere, were desperate to get back into D&D. We played in high school, but couldn't find enough people to create a full party, and one-on-one D&D just wasn't the same. Yeah, of course, D&D is pretty social game, and 3 to 6 people is perfect number. We get hired to flip burgers, and it turns out almost everyone there has played and had a real great time. The DM was the shift manager. He was a genuinely kind person who wasn't the best employee, but was a great manager. On more than one occasion, he'd send me down to the block to buy him weed, which many fast food managers do. For some weird reason.
Well, they want to work at the fast food place for when they get the munchies.
Word gets out that he is looking to start up a new campaign and new game. Anyone who wants can join. Don't sweat the details, make the character you want to play, and we can make it work. Sounds sweet. My friend and I were used to very rigid, gritty stuff imposed by high schoolers with some kind of complex. Session 1. We all arrive at the DM's apartment around at the same time. I lived close enough to walk, but I immediately noticed more cars than the parking lot was built to hold. Okay, I think that there are more than 5 people probably in this game. I'm going to gather up. This is a party, not a D&D. But you ran in real life game with 12 people.
Yeah.
And having a blast. So.
Yeah.
And if there are 10 to 12 people, then balancing it out is a piece of work.
Rule number 1 of having a party that big is always split the party.
If you parked up on curbs, if you are sharing a space with a motorcycle, it was packed. It becomes clear when I knock on the door that this was more of a house party than a D&D session. As I told, a party rather than a D&D session. About a dozen people. So they are unloading snacks and beer, and the DM was pulling up atmosphere on the living room TV. Half the people were from work, the other half total strangers. That's fine. Never played with a party this big, but let's see how it goes. We all settle and introduce ourselves. Small town, so most of us had a mutual friend or family member. Then the session begins. We all wash up on an island, no memory of how we got there or where to go next. My 4-element smoke monk gets some eye rolls, but everyone is having fun overall. First combat comes around. As we walk through the jungle towards smoke rising in the distance, hooded cultists jump out and attack. Roll initiative. Surprise round. Warlocks go first. Every warlock takes the same action. Cast Fireball. What level are they? Well, cast Fireball.
I don't think he means Warlock the class. Do Warlocks even get Fireball?
Sorcerers get, and Wizards, yes, get Fireballs, and all of them are going to cast Fireball. This is a mess already. But what are you expecting with 12 people munching snacks and drinking beer and smoking God knows what? Fireballs everywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
I want a TPK in the first 5 minutes.
Roll initiative, Fireball. Session is over. Now you're trying to make your way out of 9 health. When we eventually get to go, most of the cultists drop with 1 or 2 hits, but anytime it's their turn again, they only ever cast the 1 spell. Our warlock player says that he is going to commune with his patron. In the middle of fight, he is going to communicate with his patron.
Maybe he's asking his patron for a fire shield.
Patrons wouldn't communicate with some shitty warlocks. Directly.
Like, dude, if you can't get out of this, I picked the wrong guy to patron for.
You deal with your problems and just keep doing what I tell you to do.
And when you're dead, I'm going to hire that warlock who's casting fireball to be my new... I'll be his patron.
To which he and DM excuse themselves into the bedroom to have a private conversation. A very awkward 20 minutes later, they return and all the remaining cultists have heart attacks and die. This is it. So, I wanna tell to our viewers that if you wanna play actual games, not this nonsense, you can follow links in the description and choose between me or John. Either of us will have the opportunity to show you much better experience than what you can see. Yes, you can bring beer, I don't mind.
If you want to drink all the beer. It doesn't bother me.
Have the time of your life. But don't cast fireballs all over the place. Or do. Yeah.
If you got it, use it.
It depends on how much beer you had. So I ask about how they can cast fireballs so many times, since warlocks can usually only cast 2 spells, and it's not even available on the warlock spell list. This is meta, by the way. The DM hand waves it by saying that they are all carry a magic gem that lets them cast fireball as much as they want.
If you tell me that in our game tomorrow, you know the first thing I'm going to do. When we kill a warlock, I'm going to get that gem. And then I'm going to cast unlimited fireballs on all of your little goblins.
Consequences are going for all, for players and for DM as well. We are
That's
on the
right.
same level. Yeah, the party collects all the gems. The party, John, collects all the gems.
That's what I would do.
The next thing you know, the whole party can suddenly cast infinite fireballs. And
Without using spell slots, nothing. You just broke your campaign, bro.
The whole fire rune is doomed at this point. A dozen of drunk heroes flailing around casting fireballs left and right. The DM doesn't think much of it.
Mistake.
Session 2. Same parking issues as before. Scheduling conflicts mean a few people are out, but we still have like 10 party members. We get through the jungle to find a cultist camp. Hooded figures moving from tent to tent. Stealth mission. My friend and I go in to investigate. I keep watch while their rogue goes into a tent to find out who these guys are. She finds a small wooden box in the corner and opens it. DM's face changes to pure horror as he asks, "You don't check for traps?" My friend leaves by a note, takes Bexis.
That's very meta. Why would the DM ask you don't check for traps? Who's asking that in game? Like the box says you're not checking for traps?
10d8 lightning damage, no save.
No save? That's bullcrap. What would cause 10d8 of lightning with no save?
In a simple little box.
Probably 10d8 is going to kill a level 3 even if you make the save. But you got to give them a saving throw.
They are level 3 and they already cast infinite fireballs and take 10d8 lightning damage.
If you take the middle damage, it would be 40. So even if you save, it's 20 damage.
Immediately kills my friend's character and reduces her to ash.
No save, no death saves, reduced to ash.
You opened the wrong box, girl.
Guess so.
We are not too upset. After the first session, we kind of expected more of a meat grinder. Only issue is this happens within 15 minutes of starting the session. And now my friend just has to sit there and do nothing for the next 4 hours. They go off and play with the DM's cat and hang in the kitchen. Party storms the camp. I couldn't tell you how many fireballs get cast in the first round. It's a shit show. Or a Rammstein concert. Eventually, there's one warlock remaining and the druid interrogates about what they are doing. They are trying to summon a dragon at the top of the volcano. The ritual begins tonight, session 3. A different few folks can't make it, so we spent some time getting those who weren't here last time caught up. We start the hike up towards the volcano, encounter my friend's new ranger character, and move upwards. At least he didn't make her wait another 3 hours before introducing her new character. But still, he could have made her introduce the character in the previous session. Roll a concept and get back in 20 minutes, something like that, with another character.
First of all, I would have given him saving throw and death saves. I'm not insta-killing characters. That's crazy. I mean, we're playing this game together. Why do I want you sitting out the whole session?
Yeah, I'm not here for playing with a cat. I came here to spend time rolling dice. So, we take a break in an abandoned shack to rest. The druid reveals she has an evil genie in a bottle that grants wishes, but like in an evil way. The warlock shows off his vorpal sword, and someone else uses sovereign glue to attach a scrap of fabric to the warlock's tail. PvP nearly ensues.
They're level 3 and they have this stuff. No wonder this guy can't balance the campaign.
I don't even know what's a vorpal sword.
It's a legendary item, and he's level 3.
We arrive at the volcano just as the warlocks are finishing their ritual. Instantly destroy them with fireballs, but then the dragon rises out of the lava. Hey, by the book, ancient red dragon. Oh, they are already fighting a dragon at level 3.
Yeah.
Things
and
got escalating fast.
all their fireballs are useless now.
A few of us die, we can't do any damage, and we are all frightened, so we just run away. This is what I would do. We find a small shipping village and each requisition boat to take us our separate ways. We each get an epilogue and find out that our party inherited a mansion in the city somewhere. And we would start our next arc by moving in. Session 4 was uneventful. Parking issues, new missing players, no combat this time around, setting up the mansion, meeting the shifty king, pretty much each doing our own thing. One night at work I'm closing with the DM. Just the two of us. We always talk about stuff DM to DM. Ideas and stuff to bounce off each other. And this is where I planted the seeds for my current 3-year-long weekly game. I work up the courage to bring up his balance issues. How powerful spells and items were, making the combatant player choices feel a little meaningless. I asked him if he had a process for balancing that I wasn't picking up on. He asked me what balancing even is, when I realized he wasn't kidding. I tried to walk him through my process. Not exactly CR calculus, but making sure the characters with their items and abilities would likely be on even footing with whatever they are up against, and then turning knobs to make things easier or harder depending on what serves the story. His expression was indescribable. Somewhere between the befuddlement and outrage. He stopped cleaning and just sat on the floor for a bit. I joined him, but I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Neither could he, kind of. He just couldn't handle the concept of mechanics serving a story is the best I could put together. So he basically wants them to always be on very high fantasy epic stuff, right from level 3, casting fireballs left and right, fighting dragons, and he doesn't. For me, it is not a good game. I wouldn't enjoy it. I like more low magic grounded games.
Yeah, I don't mind magic games, heavy magic games, but you have to balance your game. You can't have everybody get killed every week and just coming with new characters. And you can't have them walking through everything because that's boring. Challenge is fun. Getting down to the last couple of hit points and wondering if you're going to get the last hit or if the bad guy is, that's fun.
Now throw in dragon and see what is going to happen. And what is this the mansion building? How can you spend the whole session on building an imaginary mansion? I hear it sometimes, but I don't even understand how it works. So
it's like shopping sessions where you get them to a town and they spend the whole session shopping for crap.
Debating what furniture they put in and who takes what room. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what they were doing, apparently.
This is more than uneventful.
It's pointless.
Next.
Yeah, send me an email with how you're decorating your room in the mansion, and then we'll play the actual game.
Next time we closed together, he excitedly showed me his idea for a Christmas one-shot. Our characters would fight an evil snowman. He found a stat block on Reddit and was very excited to use it. It could cast Cone of Cold at will and teleport between mounds of snow. Christmas one-shot. Whole crew is together. A bunch of us carpooled, so no parking issues. We start out at the Shifty King's dining hall. The king poisons everyone's food, and anyone who eats it passes out. My character was a vegetarian, so he wouldn't have eaten the food. I don't remember how I ended up joining the party lol. We all wake up in an icy tundra covered in snow and frost, surrounded by featureless snowmen. Around 3,000 mounds of snow. Roll initiative, my turn. Run up and punch it. Do a little damage. I promised I wouldn't metagame, so I stayed right up in Cone of Cold range. To my surprise, Cone of Cold doesn't outright drop me. I make my save, still take a heavy hit, but still standing. DM shoots me a look, all proud of himself. It doesn't last long. Monster is teleporting around the battlefield, blasting the entire party. Half of us are downed, other half on their last legs. DM tells us we should be appreciative. He changed the damage dice from D8 to D6s to give us better chances. We'd all be dead already otherwise. Nail in the coffin was when his DM PC figures out the pattern that we didn't even know to look for and kills the monster. Now, he makes a lot of mistakes. Not balancing correctly is like forgivable.
Yeah.
It is the way of DMing. You can have campaign full of nonsense and bullshit when everybody is just having fun, but throwing in DMPCs who saves the day, it's taking players' agency.
You have 12 players. Why do you need a DMPC? And of course, they saved the day by figuring out the pattern. He could have said, all of you roll insight or wisdom, whatever, perception, and whoever rolls the highest notices the pattern. And then it's up to them to communicate it to the other party members to win the fight.
DM was surprised that none of us picked up on the fact that he said the monster appears to randomly teleport. I'd had enough. I got up and walked home in the snow. We stopped talking about D&D at work. I was invited back for his Rime of the Frost Maiden game. I thought he might be alright running a module. I agreed. Plans fell through, I moved away. I still think about it. It gives me anxiety as a DM. How do I stop my players from feeling the way I did? Can I live up to their expectations? Are they having fun? A lot of the issues mentioned here can be solved with a session 0 to establish tones and themes. Communication to voice concern, or even just like reading the rules. I try to take that into my game to ensure that everyone is having a good time. 3 years later, I haven't received any complaints, but I still worry. If the game is among your friends, they will never tell you that it sucked.
Yeah. I think every DM has a level of this, right? Of concern that your people are enjoying, that your players are enjoying the game. I hope all of my players know that they can reach out to me and we'll discuss if they're not. This is a little crazy. This DM made a lot of mistakes, like you said.
You can read a GM guide, Game Master Handbook, at the very least, if you are that level of clueless.
Yeah, and the new one, the 2024 one, does talk a lot about how to DM properly.